Yo, we are back in After Effects, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to create this 3D blunt burning effect right here. I was actually just playing around with some 3D models and I created this cool effect. I guess it looks hella cool and hella dope as well, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. So in After Effects, to start off, you can see I have this clip right here. This footage is shot by Edie, so big shout out to him. But firstly in here we're gonna right click on the blank space, go over to where it says new and just hit solid right here and make a new color solid. The color can be anything. Then you can just hit OK. Then it will create a solid right here, and in this solid we'll be adding an effect called element. If you don't already know, element 3D is a plugin which allows us to add 3D objects inside of After Effects. So this is what we'll be using today. If you don't have this, you can just drag your 3D model straight into After Effects if you are on the newer version of After Effects 2024 or 2025. But for me, I'm just gonna use element 3D because I think it's way better. This render system is way better, bro. But anyways, we're gonna go to where it says scene setup to import our 3D model firstly. Then it will open up this new panel right here. It is pretty simple to use. All you gotta do to import your model is go to where it says import and just locate your 3D model in here. So for me, I'll be actually using my 3D model pack right here, which comes with 30 plus 3D models which are high quality, specially made for music video and 3D projects, edits and stuff. It comes with models like clocks, ARs, blunt, watches, like everything, like Hellcats and even like bullets and shit. So I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. But if you don't want to make the purchase right now, what you can do is go to Sketchfab and search for some blunt model right there. I'm pretty sure you will find some good 3D models for free in there as well. If you have my pack, just go over to where it says blunt and just import this blunt OBJ right here. They are all OBJs, so you don't have to worry about converting the model to OBJs to use it on element. Actually, the formats I have is OBJs, GLBs and FBX, so you can use it on any software basically. Then after that, you can see we have our 3D model right here looking pretty fresh. The texture I already loaded, which is pretty cool. But in here, what we're gonna do is go to where it says environment, and in basic 2K just set it as a custom layer 1, just hit OK. Then just hit OK and go out of element for now. Then go over to where it says custom layers, go over to where it says custom texture maps, and in layer 1 just set it as your footage layer. So it uses your footage layer as like a environment, which would help us to match the lighting and stuff. But now in here, if I zoom in, you can see our blunt model is right here. You can go to group 1, group look, and just scale it up. So as you can see, the blunt model is right here. But I want it like tracked to our footage, so if I like rotate it and show you real quick, it is like still and it is not tracked to our footage. So to fix that, what you can do is disable your solid layer for now, and now you can select your footage layer and go over to the right side and go over to where it says tracker and just hit track camera and go over to advanced and just hit detail analysis. So it will instantly start tracking our camera right here. So let it do its thing for now. Now if you go through the video, you can see we have a lot of track points on our scene. That's exactly what we want. You can bring up the scale to see the track points better, but for me, I'm gonna select a track point in the background and just hit create solid and camera. And what it will do is it will create a camera right here from the data I collected from our footage, the 3D camera. It will also create a track solid for the sample where we're gonna place our like blunt model in. So I wanted my blunt in this side, so I created a solid right here, but you can make it wherever you want. But for now, you can just disable the track solid right here and open up your black solid. You can actually name this element the black solid so you remember properly, and you can put this at top. Now if you play through, you can see the blunt is already like tracked to our footage, which is great, but it is like close to the camera and it is moving too fast. So that's the reason why we made the track solid. So if I go over to the group 1 settings and reset this like scale, so it is like pretty small right here. And firstly, we're not gonna adjust any position value from the group 1. We're actually gonna use a group null to do that. So just scroll down, and in group utilities on that group, in one section called create group null right here. Then just hit create on there, and it will create a new null on your timeline right here. And if you select this, you can see you can move your like blunt with it and do all that cool stuff. So firstly, just bring up the position on the null by hitting P, and just bring up the position of the track solid that we made, and just copy this last value right here of the track solid onto your group null, this last position value, and then your model will probably go far back. It will actually like disappear. To fix that, what you can do is just bring up the scale, and then now you have playthrough, you can see it's back on there, but it is like really like stably tracked to our footage. That's exactly what we want. So if I place it around like here, you can really see, yeah, you can see it right there. It is like pretty like steadily tracked to our footage that we want, and it is not like moving crazy like the last time. Now you can go on and just like make a rotation according to your liking. So maybe at the end I wanted position something like this at the side. Maybe you can just put it around like here. Yeah, I guess that looks cool. And you can just hit stopwatch in all of these rotations, and go over to the first frame, and you can just like bring up the rotation value so it like cycles through, maybe something like this. Then you can ease both of the keyframes, go into the graph, and in value graph just make a graph like this. So something tight graph like this on both of these, so it like basically like rotates and comes in right there. Yeah, as you can see after the graph, that looks super cool. Now what you can do is bring up the scale as well. So we're gonna put the first keyframe around the end, go over to the first frame and set it to 0, and just select those scale keyframes, ease, go into graph and make sure in value graph and just make a graph like this. So it like slowly comes in onto the scene like there. Looks real hard. Now you can see we have the animation as well, but the lighting is looking pretty trash and it is not actually matching to our scene. So to fix it, what I like to do is go into my element again, element solid, close up the group one, close up the custom layer, and now go over to where it says render settings, and in lighting I just like to play around with all of these to get the look that you want. For me, I know 360 would look really hard, so I'm just gonna put on 360 and go over to where it says additional light settings, and in rotation just you can like rotate the lights according to what looks best for y'all. So maybe something like this. Yeah, that looks super cinematic, not gonna lie. You can even add like a lumetri color afterwards, and just go to the basic correction right here, and just play with the values according to your liking. So you can lower down the saturation and all that good stuff to get it to your liking. Maybe something like this. I guess the lumetri color really allows us to like create the lighting that we want and the feel that we're going for. Yeah, something like this looks real hard to me. Then now what you can do is turn on the motion blur onto the element to add some motion blur onto your animation. Now we'll actually start adding the burning effect, the burning fire effect onto the blunt. So for that I basically use like stock footage or overlay, you can say. So this is the overlay that I used, which I just dragged into the blunt. So I'll just drag this onto our composition and just drag it out until you get some good burns, and maybe somewhere around here, and you can just lower down the scale and just fit it within your blunt. So around like here, anything that looks cool to you, maybe somewhere around here to sample, or maybe something like this. Yes sir. You can even lower it down and just put it right here. Then after that what you can do is hit the stopwatch in the position, hit the stopwatch in size as well, and as you go through just like track it to your like blunt overlay. Basically you can also animate the rotation if you like, and just go through like every few frame and just make sure it is like tracked properly and set. And you can put it right here, maybe a few frame forward, put it right here, here and here. Yeah, I guess a rough track like this looks real cool. Then at the end just like lining it in. Now in the beginning what you can do is like animate the opacity, so it only comes in after a certain time. So just animate the opacity to go to 0 at the first and just comes back to 100 right there. Looks pretty hard right there, not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess that looks pretty hard. Now what you can do is add like a liquify in here, and in here you can just bring up the go to warp tools and bring up the brush size right here, and just like warp it around your blunt like your blunt front or something like this, so it like warps around it basically. You can even animate it if you like. You can just go to its distortion mesh and just animate it as it goes, something like this, right here as well. So it really like creates the effect of like it is really like in there, you know what I'm saying, like without any like liquefy, it would have looked like it is like put it on, but with liquefy it looks like it is in there and it is actually burning on the blunt. So yeah, right there, I guess that looks super hard. Now what you can do with this fire is just pre-comp it right here, move all attributes into a new layer and just set the blending mode to linear dodge, and then in here you can just add like a optical glow and just bring up the glow right here and bring up the exposure if you like as well. And now if you play through, we got the fire going on. That looks super hard. Now you can leave it right here, but as you might already know me, I like to like finish off my effects with some dope effects on top. So firstly, what I like to do is select all of these layers and pre-comp it onto a single pre-comp. So just hit pre-comp and hit OK. Now I'll hit Y on my keyboard to bring up the anchor point mover tool and just move my anchor point into the blunt. So around like here, move it into the blunt. And as you might already guessed, we're gonna bring up the scale and go over to the end and just like scale it up so it like focuses into the blunt. Maybe it really like emphasizes our effect more, I feel like. Now in here, what you can do is easy ease these keyframes, go over to the graph and go over to the speed graph and just make a graph like this. Just peek it in whenever you like, so something like this. Yeah, that looks super hard right there. Yeah, that zoom looks super smooth. I love that. Maybe you can turn on the motion blur to get some smooth motion blur in there as well. And you can actually go into this pre-comp and just add a new adjustment right here and put this adjustment layer before your black solid, so before your element layer, just put it before that. And we just gonna add a fast box blur onto here, and as it goes at the end, just like blur out your background, so it like basically like resonates with our like the zoom that we made. So you can just see it like zooms into the blunt and our background gets blurred. That looks super smooth. Now finally, after all, I like to create another adjustment layer, go with the first frame, and to spice it up and to add some energy in it, I like to go over to an animation preset, user preset, and use my essential effects right here. And from my essential effect, I just like to use Asim best wiggle. So this is my signature wiggle right here, and it looks super hard into like the beginning of the clip and stuff. So I like to add this on every single effect that I create, especially if your clip has like the beat hit and stuff. Looks real hard on there. Like with a single click, you are achieving effects like this, bro. The preset is actually goated on my essential effects. If you want to check it out, I'll link it in the description. It comes with 40 plus presets like these, ready to use. It will really like save your time and stuff, because I use it on every single project of mine and it helps me edit faster a lot. So I'll leave it in the description if you want to check it out. But with that, I guess we're done, and our final effect looks something like this. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and I'ma see you on the next one. Peace.